All right. Are we live? Are we going? Welcome back, everybody, to the Saturday stream of the Golden Inquisition. Oops, let me mute my phone here real quick. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest. Jack is a mimic. He'll be here. Matter of fact, he's already here. He's in the waiting list. And let me make some adjustments because we want to hear what he has to say clearly, and we don't want him to be like having to yell over sound effects and stuff. But you know what? Let's get some music going. We'll have some music. I think there's music in this portion of the game. Let's see. So, any announcements besides Jack is a mimic is here? We let's see. No real announcements, I think. Oh, did the I've been having problems with my audio. It just went dead, didn't it? All right then. But it's okay. Let's see. Announcements, none. Oh, yeah, we got the call-in show tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, the call-in show where everybody is invited to come onto the stream and share your thoughts, your theories, the principles that you would live by. Yeah, so that's tomorrow. It should be fantastic. And so, yeah, welcome your pharaohs, Calistro, Cayman, Jackal, Sirius Moonlight. Whoa. Nostal, Spiral, what's up? Can y'all hear the game? For some reason, I'm not hearing it, and I hope we'll be able to hear Jack. Hey, what's up, Farm? All right, let me give Jack the role to talk, and I will pull him into the show. Hello, Jack. Are you there? We'll wait to see if the audio picks him up. I don't know what's going on with my audio. Can y'all hear the game all right or no? Oh, he may not be able to hear me. He may not be ready, which is okay. Let's see what else. What else is going on?
There we go. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Fantastic, man. Hey, how's it going? Not much, man. Oh, okay.
Sorry, my microphone's falling apart.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm having troubles with audio anyways. I was having a slight panic attack before the stream started. I pulled Boss into the chat because it was like it wasn't picking up any audio anywhere, and I was like, what is going on? Normally it's just
what do you use to stream?
OBS.
Oh yeah, me too. But do you I guess you're on PC, right?
Right, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I just clicked a bunch of buttons until it was working. But it's working now, sort of. So I'm just gonna close it so nothing else breaks for the moment. Can everybody hear Jack? Type 1 or just say yes.
I think people can hear me, but you might need to raise my volume.
Okay. Let's see. Go ahead. Say something so I can see where.
Hi, everybody, this is Jack as a mimic. I make low budget Elden Ring videos.
Low budget. No way, low budget, bro. Premium.
The
premium content.
Mimic commentary is low budget, but we're working. We got things on the back. We got things on the back end that we're producing.
Really fantastic. All right, well, everybody, this is Jack. Everybody knows him. He's the GOAT. The GOAT. This is the guy that started. No, he didn't start. He inspired the Inquisition and everything. This is the guy that we all thank every day. When we wake up first thing in the morning, we say, thank you, Jack. Thank you, Jack.
Thank you, Jack. Don't have to thank. Wow, that's crazy. That's weird. Well, I was really when I was looking, I guess it was like 3 or something months ago, and my YouTube had a little notification that said I was mentioned. And it was this video about Renala and her Great Rune and Ronnie, and it said that this person was inspired to make a video for my content. I was like, oh my goodness, um, that really made me so happy, especially since it was about Renala, who's like my favorite part of all of Elden Ring.
Oh, really?
Um, so I just thought that was awesome.
Wow. So like the reason I made a mention at you is because like in your video, I think it was like episode 87, I had told you you inspired me, and you said you'd replied like, "Hey, at me when you make the video," and I was like, "Oh my God, really?" I'm like, now I feel the pressure. I have to do this now. I have to. But no, and here we are. Here we are. So,
When did you actually when did you start watching
oh
my videos?
man,
Because I think it's so cool that you watch them in the commentary. Especially since you're someone who keeps up with like you're not a member who watches, you just watch the public releases, and I think
right.
that's like really cool.
I started. I think I want to say it was like 8, 9, or 10 or so. It was or in the teens. It was like really long time ago, man. Because I remember when it was like going into the 20s. I'm like, oh man, with how long is it going to go on this? And it just kept on going and going and going. I was like, oh, okay. And it's been a long time, man. Long time.
Was that you just started watching my videos with the mimic commentary?
Yeah, yeah. And back then I was using a
Really?
different account. I
Wow,
was
that's
using
interesting.
my personal account. So you might see like stuff that's like from Prince Lorian, and that's that's my other
Yeah.
account. I was like, oh,
Okay, so did you watch any of my other videos after you watched the mimic commentary?
the ones with the red slash on them. Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Did you watch
Yeah,
them all?
I believe so. Maybe
Okay, I was just
don't
curious to which did you watch my Never Ending Story series?
never ending story series. I'm not sure. I'm not sure honestly.
Okay, I just wanted to know how much on the Jack lore you're into.
Oh, and the Jack Lore. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm pretty good into it. But I've heard you talk about like the whatchamacallit, the never ending story stuff on the mimic commentary about somebody had told you or something like
Yeah.
that about that it's Radagon. Radagon knew he was a character in a story, and I think that's wild.
No,
That
so what it was is some my friend Kate told me to watch the Never Ending Story because it had a lot of references to Elden Ring in it. Like the one that she really tried to sell me on was like the mirror of like I think it's like the mirror of truth, and the character has to pass, like they have to go through the trials of the mirror, and all it is just like looking at the reflection and reflecting on who they are, and then they get to pass through the mirror and they get to continue through the journey. And that was like, she was like, that's the mimic tier fight, and I watched it, I was like, oh yeah, that is kind of like, you're facing off in your reflection. But it wasn't that. She told me that Radigan is a character in the story. I was theorizing that, um, thanks to causality and regression. And then at the end of the never ending story, it breaks the fourth wall where a character is told that they're a character in the story. And then the character in the movie is told that they're a character in the story. And then the characters in the story tell the person watching the movie that like now it's your story. And I was thinking, I was like, oh, this is perfect if this ties into like Elden Ring and stuff. I've shared the clip a few times.
uh-huh.
This is my favorite stuff about the fourth wall breaking stuff. The when you the when the characters are told that they're in a story, it's in a black void, and the Empress gives a golden like grain of sand to Bastion, who's a little boy who's reading this book. And then when you get to Mickle at the gated Vinny and you see his memory, it's in that black void. And instead of giving a grain of sand, it's the crown. And so I was like, hell yeah, this theorizing's right. So I went full steam ahead on like Radigan learns he's a character in the story. And then did you watch Game of Thrones?
Yes, I did. All horrible 8
Did you
seasons.
watch
No,
did you watch House of the Dragon?
no, no. I take that back. I think I watched the first season. The first season.
Okay, so spoiler alert, second
Okay.
season of House of the Dragon. One of the characters, spoiler everybody, Daemon Targaryen, who is the Targaryens of the Dragon House, and I like to say Radigan is a dragon all the time,
Uh-huh.
because his name is an anagram for a dragon. He's got a lot of dragon stuff in his when we get deep into his theorizing, and he is told he's in a story in a similar black void as the Neverending Story, and a similar black void to Mikkela's memory, and I was just like, I nailed it. I got it.
You know what?
That was like one of my like.
I think you said that before, and I went back and I looked that up on YouTube, I think, or did you clip that into one of your videos or something like
I've
that?
mentioned it in a few videos. I mentioned it. I mentioned it to. I think I mentioned it in my video "Greatest Theorist of All Time,"
Uh-huh. Okay.
um, and I brought it up there,
Oh,
and
okay.
I've mentioned it. I've alluded in my Neverending Story series. I show hints to it, but I've never made a dedicated video on it.
Oh,
But
all
that's
right
just like
then.
my accreditations. My accreditations is I feel like my theorizing for Elden Ring, I accurately predicted House of the Dragon on accident.
Wow.
So that's all that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it when we get to it. It's
Well, yeah, we'll get to it. But so let me ask, since you're on the show, let me ask you, man. So how did you get into making YouTube videos for Elden Ring? Like what what
oh
was
yeah, okay. So that's
yeah.
actually I used to so I started I've been playing the Souls games since Dark Souls came out on PC for the Prepare to Die edition, and when I discovered um Gwendolyn on a second playthrough, that like blew my mind and I became obsessed. Um then became just like really into theorizing in Dark Souls, and then like season 3 Game of Thrones came out, and everyone's like, "Oh, you gotta watch this show. You gotta watch this show. Jack, you would love this show." So I watched the first 3 seasons of Game of Thrones, and then I was
Right.
like, "Damn, this show's good. I'm gonna read all the books."
Oh
And then I
wow.
become obsessed with the books for Song of Ice and Fire. Then eventually, season 8 Game of Thrones ends 2019. It's not that good. I like it now, but at the time, didn't
Yeah.
like it. Then, like 1 month later, Elden Ring's announced, and it's like George R. R. Martin, Hidetaka Miyazaki, and I just like soured from Game of Thrones season 8, and I'm like, I don't really care about Elden Ring when it comes out. It comes out. Fast forward 2022, I'm in the middle of my master's degree, and I take 2 weeks off just to play Elden Ring,
Damn.
and I'm not really paying attention to lore and story. I'm like 90 hours in. I'm climbing up the mountain. I'm like, bro, this game's got to end soon, doesn't it? And then you kill the fire giant, and then there was another dungeon, and then there's 5 more bosses, and then there's the Elden Beast, and I was like, oh, okay, that's what George R. R. Martin wrote. He put a space bug in the tree, and I just put it down, and
Wow.
yeah. So then, like a year and a half later, like summer 2023, I'm like, replay Elden Ring, and I'm replaying the game, and I'm like, let me catch up on like lore videos and stuff, and I'm listening to like Smotown's videos while I'm replaying the game, and he starts talking about like Renala, um, and Radigan, and like how they got like, oh, she's in this state because they got divorced,
Uh-huh.
and my parents had just gotten divorced. They were married for 29 years and 11 months, and they ended that. And when he said that, I was like, well, I just saw my parents get divorced, and my mom is not like Renala. Like she's like, they're not happy that they had to end the marriage, but they're not like she's not devastated.
Right.
And I was thinking like what would make a woman like Renala act the way that she's acting? And when I was thinking about like the larval tears, you bring her these tears, and then she's making these children. I'm like, oh my God, it's Ronnie. Ronnie died in the Night of Black Knives. That's everyone's missing that. So I started trying to like I was posting on Reddit, and then I was thinking like, well, the larval tears. If you use a larval tear, well, then you're a mimic. Like your character's a mimic, and I had just like read Berserk because my friend said I'd really like it. So I was playing as like I used the larval tear and I made the guts build, and I was like, oh my God, my character is literally a mimic of the guy from the comic book, and you know So I was just like posting on Reddit and stuff, and I kept getting like downvotes and people arguing with me, and then I got like people like bullying me and like the mimic theorizing had people saying like I got like these like wellness check messages of like people calling me crazy and stuff like that.
Wow.
And I was like, what the hell? I was like, you know what? Who cares about posting on Reddit? I'm gonna make a video because that will get more views than anyone else's Reddit post and it'll
Right.
last longer.
Right.
Um, and so before I did that, the thing that like really blew my mind, I was playing. I was like, let me replay through the game with the HUD turned off so I can get footage. And um, when I got to the end of the game and I got to finish Gideon's quest line and I got to Mikola and I go back to him and it gives you the law of causality and it says that like all things are linked in a chain of relations. I was like, that blew my mind. I was like, oh, this is the missing piece. The very end of the game, you do this like secret quest line. You're told that everything is cause and effect. So that's like the easiest way to figure out the lore. So we just have to do cause and effect. And I just felt like I have the pieces to figure out all of Elden Ring. So I was like, let me make a video that explains how do you understand Elden Ring. You just look at causality and regression. And I was like, I have to do this so when I make my videos afterwards that are like theories that no one has heard before, they know how I came to that conclusion. So
Mm.
my first video was how to understand Elden Ring lore, and then my second video was why did the Carian Queen grieve, and it was like a story time of um like trying to show my perspective of playing the game and how I came to the conclusion that Renala is grieving the loss of Ronnie in the Night of the Black Knives, and she's trying to have her come back to life. She's trying to resurrect her, but she can't because she doesn't know that her soul is in a doll.
Hmm. Okay.
It was very old theorizing, so there's some details in there that aren't right, but that's like my core of Elden Ring theorizing is proving and is focusing that Renala's anguish is because she lost her daughter and she doesn't know that she's actually still alive.
Really.
So it's like I like it to be incredibly tragic and like painful, but like there to be reasons for that pain. And yeah, so it was Renala's story that got me into doing the theorizing and the videos and the storytelling, and then eventually a mental breakdown thanks to it.
Oh, really? Wow. Wow. Let me ask you a question about you. You
Yeah.
said that you played the game with the HUD turned off. Did you play the whole game with the HUD turned off, or how did you like casting spells and all
Oh
that?
yeah, whole game with the HUD turned off.
No way.
I just played I was doing the guts build. Yeah,
Oh,
I played all of
like oh,
uh,
okay.
I played it all HUD turned off. Shadow of the Earthslayer played the HUD turned off.
Wow.
But
Really?
I had high vigor, I had a high I just my hot bar just had like throwing knives, um crab meat, the flask, and then my health flasks I use in the quick select. And then I was doing since the great sword has I think 86 or 84% block.
Uh-huh.
So you only take 16% damage when you block. So I was doing a guard counter build and I just had a lot of vigor and a lot of damage reduction. So I just was able to the game is like really easy. If you know the I don't know what to say. It's just like it's not that hard of a game when you have like 60 vigor and a great sword.
Oh man, I must be playing
Elden
wrong
Ring
then.
and Bloodborne are like the easy
Because man,
and guard countering.
I had the hardest time my very first time playing Elden Ring, man. It was rough. And I was coming from Dark Souls 3 and I didn't play Elden Ring. I had bought it first day, but I didn't play it for like I think a year and a half later. It was just sitting. I was like, man, I've already played this game. It's called Dark Souls 3. I'm not gonna play it. And then but man, I played it with a sword and shield and it was rough, man. It was oh man, it was such a hard
It's not
game.
any. It's not. They're not. No, they're not easy games. But like, I don't know. If you're locked in, and I was, HUD turned off. I'm just paying attention to the game, and I'm very familiar with it. This was like my fourth playthrough, um, and just like playing with a great sword, medium rolling with heavy armor and the maximum Dragon Crest shield. Um, I don't know. It's just like it 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 isn't actually that difficult if you have enough like cushion to make mistakes. And doing a great sword build is like easy mode, especially with
Oh,
guard counters.
I believe that. I believe that. So what do you think of the PvP? Do you play with PvP or no? Do
No, I don't PvP.
you don't at all? Wow. Okay. Wow.
No, I used to play online. I used to be really competitive,
Uh-huh.
playing online games. Like I was top, like in the Counter-Strike matchmaking, I was like top 2%. I used to do competitive Overwatch. I was top 500 for multiple seasons. I
Oh,
used to
wow.
do Diablo ladder. I used to be very competitive with games, but with like the Souls games, I like to just be single player.
Wow, man. That's amazing. Hmm. Well,
Yeah, I was a serious gamer.
it sounds like it, man. Much more serious than me, man. Dang. All right. So so what's your favorite aspect of Elden Ring? Elden Ring overall. You talked about Renala and stuff like that, but you know, what keeps you going? What keeps you from burning
Oh,
out?
well, it's part of like what I if you like if you're not familiar with like my actual like my personal story, I use Elden Ring as a tool of for communication and for personal healing.
Hmm.
Uh, so I after about let's see, what day did my first video come out? So my first video on YouTube, December 7th, 2023, was when I released that first video. December 8th, 2023. So I've been doing a lot of theorizing for Elden Ring, and I've been focusing on Renala and her grief, and that she finds that Ronnie is dead. Specifically, that Ronnie kills herself in the Night of the Black Knives. She doesn't know that her body's living in a doll. She just thinks she's dead.
Hmm.
And part of the rebirth, if you look at the juvenile scholar set, you learn that it says rebirth is to sleep to them, and with each awakening, memory fades into oblivion. And Elden Ring is really focused on memory. Ashes of War memories. You beat a boss, you get their remembrance. You turn that remembrance into weapons and items. But when you go through rebirth, you lose your memories. Memories have been important all throughout um, Demon Souls. It starts with when you lose your souls, you start losing your memories. Then it happens in Dark Souls with the hollowing. Sekiro, even more. You have to go back in time through memories. So I was thinking a lot about memories. I was thinking a lot about grief, and I was thinking a lot about like suicide and self-harm.
Ah,
And on December, what is it? December 8th, 2023, I had a panic attack that caused me to recover repressed memories of childhood sexual abuse that I suffered.
oh wow.
And since then, everything about Elden Ring has been about my healing journey and reconciling with those memories and finding ways to share that story. And particularly, I like to say, like, sharing the runes with people by showing others how to use a game like Elden Ring, which is so open to interpretation, as a way to be able to look into yourself and to see the parts of yourself that you like, that you don't like, have them represented as characters within Elden Ring, have them, fight each other, work against each other, work with each other, and as a way to construct the story that you want to tell about yourself. So that's what stops me from burning out because I use it as a tool to be able to communicate with others that type of process, but I
Hmm.
also use it as a way to communicate to myself to be able to like give myself the words to describe these feelings and like what I'm going through or what I have gone through because it's really difficult stuff to process. And if you haven't gone through it, like it's also really difficult to understand. But Elden Ring helps communicate that because we're able to talk about these like uh, um, we're able to talk about these like really complex and mature and somewhat disturbing, well, definitely disturbing topics. But we get
Right.
to use characters like Radon and Radigan, Ronnie and Marika and Mesmer, and we can talk about the rune of death, and we could talk about the fingers, and we can talk about dragons and how eating dragon hearts makes you angry, and we can use all these different symbols to be able to communicate those feelings and those ideas and emotions without having those barriers up. It allows us to like take down the walls and be a little bit more honest about how we feel. When you get really in tune to that type of emotional work, and when you get really in tune to Elden Ring lore, you can tell a lot about a person based on what theorizing they do for Elden Ring, and it makes it like easy to kind of like relate to someone when you know what they care about in this story. So
Really?
that's how I stop from getting burnt out. I take it very seriously.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I would. Dang. Wow. Hmm. All right.
That's
So
why I asked how many videos of mine that you watch, because like I had like that's part of the story. Since you haven't become a member, there's
right.
two. You started watching in the 20s. Um, there's two episode 31s.
Oh, is there?
Um,
Oh, okay then.
yeah, so the one that's for public is Mimic's Veil Reborn, which I filmed in June of this year.
Uh-huh.
But the original one was filmed in January, and that was um, the first time I talked about my like survivorship to a microphone,
Uh-huh.
and it caused me to actually get like triggered, and I cry while recounting these memories. But it's like it 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 was when we first got the Mimics Veil, and it like really helped me like open up. And that was originally the Mimic commentary started as just members only. And then I don't remember what episode I got to when I started releasing them to the public. So like when you were watching in the 20s,
Okay then.
I was probably in we were probably like almost in Ryo Lucaria.
Okay then. Yeah. All right, then it probably was the 20s because I've always done the free ones because my money's low. uh, but
No, well that's my videos all that's why I release them. There's just the members just get them
right. No, I
early.
understand. I understand. I'm patient, and I Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, I wait. I'm at work or I'm here in my
Well, just
apartment.
In March it's going to be Tuesday, Thursdays.
Oh God.
So get ready, okay? Get ready for the drought.
That's okay because my schedule changes on February 9th, so everything's going to change. So my Mondays for me will become Tuesday, so it'll still be a Monday morning mimic commentary just to get through the week. Because it really helps out because my job sucks, and I put it on my headphones, I listen, and I'm like, okay, let's listen while
Everybody's job sucks.
yeah, for real,
Well,
bro.
that's also why I do the mimic commentary, is because I know I used to be a really big fan of Epic Name Bro, who was the original Souls YouTuber.
Is he?
And he would make his lore videos and stuff and whatever, but then he would do a ton of playthroughs. Like he would just like my favorite one that he would do was called Zwei in chat, where he just pick up the Zwei hander and he just play through Dark Souls, and it was just like a podcast. But I would play alongside while I was watching the video, and like high school was a really dark time for me. I was in a really bad spot, um, and it felt like like I was playing alongside a friend. Like he was just talking about his life. He was just talking about Dark Souls lore, and it was so comforting to me. Um, and part of what I like, what I want with the mimic commentary is like that too. Like to someone, we both people who like Elden Ring and want to know more about it and want to be immersed in the world and also want to like feel like they're not there alone. Um, that's why I also do the series and why I like that it's so long, because I don't want it to like just be over. I want us to be able to go into the lands between and, be able to like detach from all the crazy crap that's going on in the real world,
Right.
um, and be able to like look through the fantasy. However, I got a lot of dark stuff in my life. So I don't, we're detaching from the real world, but the real world still follows us into the lands between. And it gives me the opportunity to work through some of those thoughts and feelings and then share those with other people.
You know what? Yeah, I think you're right that it does follow us through there because with my divorce and everything else, everything leading up to that, I can see I can see that into the game and all this stuff, and it makes it makes a lot of sense to me. And what at least what you're saying, and I see that, and I think you're right. I think you're right. For the most part, I think you're right that it helps, with coping with feelings or working through them and stuff like that. Um, because I've spent a lot of time in this game, and I do project like my 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 cynicism and my doubts and my especially my doubts into this game about like mistrust and all these things. This is why I always say you can't trust Roger, you can't trust anybody because they're all liars, because it's like me
Liars and
projecting.
cheats aplenty.
Yes, especially
Well, they
like
are lying. They
right.
are lying. But
And
some of them, like, they're lying. Some of them lie for good. They're not. They're lying to you, but they're not lying like to you. If you know what I'm saying.
right.
Like some of the characters are doing a wink and a nod. Like, hey, I'm gonna be like Ronnie. Like she tells you straight up, I'm gonna lie to you, and
Yes.
it's kind of like kind of like a wink at the character saying like, hey, just so you know, we're gonna I'm a doll. Let's play a game. We're gonna be pulling one over on everybody.
Right. And when I think I first saw that dialogue was on your mimic commentary or something like that about Ronnie.
Yep, they
Uh
try to show it.
and I was like, "What? I'm going to have to go do that." And so I went back and I started another character. I've started like 20 or plus more characters, and I was like, that to me that is like the most meta hint about how to interpret the entire game, that
And
everybody's
you have to lie to her too. She tells you that after you lie to her.
right. Yes. And it
She asks you if you have torrent, and you say no, and she's like, I know you have torrent, or did you just forget his name? Tell me you have him. And then you say, no, I don't have torrent. And she's like, okay, I
yeah.
see what you're doing.
And she just throws that shit on the ground. She's like, "Here, take this. I may see you
Yeah, here,
never."
take this. Yeah, yeah, maybe, yeah, don't call me.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's good.
I love Ronnie. She's so funny. I think she's like such a great character.
I think so too. She's that in the Inquisition. She's like the number one waifu, I think. But for me, it'll always be Letta because she's loyal. I like. But
Are
yeah,
or do you like Mikola? Are you like a follower of Mikola?
a follower of Mikla. No, I don't.
Yeah.
No, not really. But I do have a Mikla tattoo because I think his cross looks really cool. So I do have that cross. But
You have
uh,
a Mikola tattoo?
yeah, I got the Order. I got the Golden Order and Mikla's tattoo on my right arm. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, because I saw that.
That's cool. Can you send me a picture of that?
I will. Let me work out a little bit so it looks really strong. But but yeah, it's a yeah. I just like the design, and I was like, man, that's a really cool design. I haven't seen anything like that, and I was like, I don't care what it means. I'm just gonna have it.
So you
So
have you have the gold you well,
yeah,
I know, I think they have good meanings. I think Mikkel is a good character. And you have so which golden order do you have? The golden order fundamentalist
yep,
symbol? The triangle
fundamentalist.
with the ring in the center?
Yep, yeah.
Wow. That's actually those two tattoos are really like lore appropriate.
You think so? I thought. Tell me. Well, why do you think
Oh
so?
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
Hold on, I'm sending you the
bec-
pictures too.
because all right, let me see the pictures. Yeah, do you want to? I think like if you give me some of the questions for the stream, we'll get to those answers.
Okay,
Where are you sending me the pictures?
on Discord. Is it's just a DM.
That's sick. Love that. Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, so
Love that.
I'm gonna
That's
get the
so good.
Halleck
Oh, you know
tree.
what? You gotta add a little. You're missing some stuff though.
Oh,
You're
I
missing
did
some
that on
stuff there.
purpose. I did it on purpose. I got rid of the internal writing
You
and
didn't want
stuff
the
like that.
runes. You didn't want the runes.
Yeah. No, I just wanted something just a lot cleaner and
Okay.
not too
Oh,
much of a mess.
Hmm. That's
But
okay. Well, I appreciate that you still have the sun there. Well, so like to me, I would interpret that since you didn't want the runes within the symbol, you didn't want the you didn't kind of like want the Elden runes throughout there. You just wanted the rings.
mhm.
if I was going to interpret this as looking at it from the lore perspective,
Uh-huh.
I would be saying that like you want to write the own order of your story. Like you want to say what your golden order is,
Hell yeah. The Golden Inquisition. Man,
you
that's
know?
exactly what it is.
And Nicholas Cross too. I mean when the Golden Order fundamentalists, they describe the Golden Order with causality and regression. But there is a third fundamental,
Is there?
and it's alluded to in Mikkela's multi-layered Rings of Light. Now, it doesn't tell you what that third fundamental is. You gotta choose what you want for that. So sometimes I either say it's retro causality, which is backwards causality, or kindness. Those are that depends on what you want to do there.
Hmm.
But that's how
Interesting.
I interpret it.
Okay.
There,
Okay.
I got more than that to explain it, but we'd
Right.
have to start from square one to explain all that.
Oh no, no. I'll wait for the mimic commentary. Oh,
Yeah, you're gonna be waiting.
oh God, dude.
You'll be waiting.
How long? How many
We might get
episodes?
to it. We might get to it in another video.
How long do you think the mimic commentary is going to go?
What was
500?
that?
How long do you think it'll go? The mimic commentary?
Oh, I don't know.
A
I mean,
thousand?
I'm not gonna stop after we finish Elden Ring.
Mhm.
We're gonna do, we're gonna go through the other Souls games and do mimic commentary for them as well.
Oh shit! Really? Wow! I can't wait for that. I can't wait. Yeah,
Yeah, because why
man.
not?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I like playing these games, and there's just a lot to talk about.
Hell yeah, dude.
You get the fleeting microcosm spell in Shadow of the Erd Tree, and it tells you that all of the universe, like Elden Ring, is just a miniature version of our universe, at least how you see it.
Mhm.
So, you know, the mimic commentary is really just is essentially just like a podcast, but I'm playing Souls games.
Are you going to do one for the Night Rain?
No, can't I can't mimic commentary for Night Rain. It's too fast. And it's just
Yeah,
like
it's
all
horrible,
I would have to do is just read the journal entries.
right? Yeah, I don't like that game.
I think it's fine. It's just not my type of game. I wish it was
Right.
slower. I like the lore that they added. Like it helped add stuff to my theorizing, but
Oh, really? I feel like for that the lore in that game
it's just not my
expanded.
pace.
Yeah, I think it like expanded the universe instead of like, uh, instead of like giving lore vertically, it like gave it to us horizontally, like gave us insight on other cultures, other lands, and stuff like that.
Yes, yes,
And
yes.
and I do like that.
Disagree on the other cultures and other lands. I feel like it gave us reflections of
Really?
what was already in the game from something else. Yeah, that I my theorizing for Night Rain is that everything in it is canon, non-canon.
Uh-huh.
Um, meaning that like everything that happens in Night Rain happens, but it doesn't happen within the main timeline, and they
Mhm.
happen because of some time travel shenanigans. It's essentially America's dumping ground to make sure time travel works.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. All right. I can see that. I can see that. And
Yeah,
I know in
it's all
the
time loops.
in in time. I've heard you talk about your time traveling Mikla theory, and I think you have a video on that. I think I watched it.
Yeah, yeah, I have a video on that. That's
Yeah.
if you go on my page, if anyone, I just made a playlist on my page. It's called Prepare to Mimicry, but cry is kind of a punctuated it out, kind of like Vadi.
Uh huh.
And it's the videos that I think are the best to start with my channel, like if you want to get a good introduction to the theorizing. And one of those videos is it's titled "What is Elden Ring really about?" and the title in the thumbnail is "To Mimic a God," and that's essentially my time traveling Mikola theory.
Oh wow.
And my time traveling Mikola theory was based off of when you touch Mikola's memory, you get a flash of white light.
Hmm.
And in Dark Souls 3, when you get the repair spell, you learn that light is time. And I noted every single time there was a flash of white light within um, every single one of the Souls games that Miyazaki directed. I didn't include Armored Core 6, even though that does have flashes of white light for time travel, and it was originally he was the initial director for Armored Core 6, but I didn't include it into this video. Anyway, I did the
Oh.
flash of white light as like that was my linchpin to showing that light is time and Mikkel is a time traveler. And then Night Rain comes out, and every time time gets reversed in Night Rain, there's a flash of white light. It happens after you beat Hulster, and then
Hmm.
right before when you do the Dawn ending, right before the lands, but Limveld gets turned back into the lands between. There's a flash of white light. So, just like House of the Dragon, getting that theorizing right. Night Rain, help me prove me right again. And I'm gonna say prove me right. I'm gonna say prove me right. I'm not. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
gonna toot
no.
my own horn. I think I got the strongest theorizing in the game because I have multiple confirmed hits on crazy shit.
Yeah, man.
Learning you're in a story and that there's time travel. Don't get better than that.
It don't. It doesn't. Here, okay. So like in the Inquisition Discord, we have the questions. We have questions, right? Yeah. That people have asked for the stream, and then we also have the question of the week. And
Right,
do you
what's
want to
question
try
of the
to
week?
you want to answer the question of the week from your point of view? Unless you're going to
Sure.
call tomorrow, but since you're here today.
No. I'm busy tomorrow.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so the question of the week. All right, everybody, Jack's going to answer. Here we go. Get ready. The question of the week. Should the ritual dehorning of the omen be viewed as an act of mercy or an act of mutilation?
Okay, so that one. So first we have to understand why are they removing the horns from the omen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
So what are omen horns? Do you know?
Yeah,
Like, why do they need to remove the horns?
I know why, but I can't answer till tomorrow. So,
Well, you tell
uh,
me. No, you tell me.
what?
What's in why remove an omen horn? You
Uh,
don't do the value
no,
judgment. You're
no,
saying
no.
don't
I'm not.
answer if it's mercy or mutilation.
No,
Just
no,
tell me
no.
what an omen horn is.
It's a part of the crucible, right?
Okay, but what does that mean?
That it's connected to spirits and stuff like that.
All right. Yep, it's connected to spirits. So when someone has when you first talk to Gideon about Nefeli,
Mm-hmm.
you get the first mention of Omen, and he says like she's as wicked like like a miss like a not a like a mischievous child or something, or like a child who doesn't follow rules. They're more trouble than an Omen horn. So Gideon is saying that by having an Omen horn, it's bad news.
Mm-hmm.
Then the next introduction to Omen, we meet Omen within Stormvale Castle. Then we find Omen within, I think, Rhodes and Catacomb. And that's, I think, our first introduction to sleeping Omen. While they're sleeping, they're twitching in their sleep. Then
Uh-huh.
and they have their horns cut off and they're twitching and they're convulsing. We don't really get to learn what's going on with the Omen until Dung Eater shows up in the Round Table Hold. When Dung Eater shows up in the Round Table Hold, he's red, he's as a spirit, and he talks to us very calmly. He's able to formulate full sentences like a normal person.
Uh-huh.
But Roderica says that she hears like thousands of spirits calling out in agony and in pain, and that like they're dreading this curse. When we meet Dung Eater in person, now we talk to his red spirit, his malicious spirit within the Round Table Hold. But when we talk to him in person, he's banging his head against the wall. He's speaking like gibberish. He's not all there. So something's going on between when he's a spirit, he's calm and collected. But when he's physical and he's in the real world and he's in his body, he can't act as he normally would. And he starts self-harming. He's hitting himself against his head against the wall.
Okay.
So it isn't until we really get to Shadow of the Erdtree do we understand what's going on there. Do you have the game open? Can you open your inventory?
Sure. Okay.
I have your yeah. So can you? I have your stream open. Maybe I'm behind. I want you to go to crafting materials, and I want you to look at a beast horn from Shadow of the Erdtree.
Okay. Let's see. Beast horned. What are you there?
And if you can throw up the description too, so I can read it.
Okay.
All right. So it's a beast horn, a horn suffused with spirituality. The crucible has a particularly strong influence on the beasts of the realm of shadow, causing many to grow horns despite the characteristics of their species. So by growing horns, you can have them suffused with spirituality.
Mm-hmm.
If we look at if you go to the spirit calculus, which is next to it, that also kind of looks like a little bit like a bell bearing, which is
Right.
used to summon spirits. Long story short, we do our theorizing. We come to the conclusion that by having horns tied to the crucible, spirits can be embedded inside of those horns. And if you have omen horns, we learned this from um, the horn sent grandma, that they are the curse of the omen. So those with horns in the lands between the omen, they have vengeful, wrathful spirits haunting them. Those with horns in the land of shadow, they just have spirits, good spirits, bad spirits, just spirits around them. So is it an act of mercy or an act of mutilation for a ritual dehorning of an omen? Well, if we think about an omen as someone who is being harassed by invisible entities that haunt them in their nightmares and their day to day and can't allow them to partake in society like everyone else, not just foregoing what they look like, but how they feel internally, how they're able to think, how they're able to act. They can't participate like everyone else without understanding like the spiritual aspect, like how do you calm these cursed spirits? One of those answers might be, well, we have to cut off the horns because the horns are the problem. It's the horns that are giving them these bad dreams. It's the horns that are causing them this internal agony, this anguish, these spirits that are haunting them. So if we get rid of the horns, they won't have these spirits bothering them. So from one perspective, it could be seen as an act of mercy, that this is the only way we know how to help them.
Mm-hmm.
But we could take it a step further. Let's say we know how to help someone who is suffering from these ailments, someone who is suffering from just like voices harassing them, visions harassing them. And our answer is, well, we're going to cut off parts of your body, and that's how we're going to fix it.
Mm.
Well, then we could argue, well, maybe that's an act of mutilization.
Yeah.
Perhaps instead of dismembering them, why don't we put them in a place that's more comfortable? Why don't we expect not so much from them? They shouldn't have to these omen shouldn't have to participate in society the same way that a commoner would have to. But that doesn't make them any less than. It just makes them different. The horn scent found value in their spirit, the people with horns, so much so that they rise to the tops of their religious hierarchy because they're able to commune with these spirits. In the
Mm.
lands between, we could say something similar could be, they could be treated in a much kinder way. And this is what I mean by how we can use Elden Ring to talk about real world things, because when we look at the omen as someone who is just afflicted by like a mental ailment that they can't control, how we respond to them and what our response looks like really dictates what type of world we want to build forward. When we think about the dung eater, he does a lot of vile, terrible things. But if people were showing kindness to the dung eater, if, although he doesn't look like an omen, he had the heart of one. If he was given the care that he needed, he may not have defiled others. He may not have hurt others. He may not have wished to spare unto all others if he was shown kindness.
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
So,
I never thought
is
of
it an act of mercy or an act of mutilation? It's who knows.
that.
But there's a better solution.
That's a good answer. That's a good answer. I never looked at the dung eater that way. That there was a different road for him. I never thought about it. But yeah, they're probably. Oh shit, my
There's a
game
different road
crashed.
for everybody. Hey, if Moog wasn't imprisoned in the sewers, he wouldn't have needed to make an audience with the formless mother. If he never had an audience with the formless mother, he would never have needed to kidnap Mikola to raise him as a god. He would never have had to had a child share a bloody bedchamber with him. A lot more pain could have been avoided if Moog was shown the care and love that he deserved as a child.
That's true. Let me ask you this real quick. Do you think Moog was able to, or Moog and I guess Morgoth too, were able to commune with the formless mother was because they had the horns?
It's specifically his blood, but and I think his horns are a byproduct of his blood.
Okay. All right. Interesting. All right. Game's back,
This
everybody.
to talk about the blood. To talk about his blood, we'd have to do cross game theorizing.
Uh-huh.
And we'd have to go to we'd have to do Dark Souls 1 and a little bit of Demon Souls, and then Bloodborne. We'd have to do cross game to explain why they can communicate with the Formless Mother because of their blood. But
Really?
that we won't be able to do other questions if we do that.
Right, right. Okay. Well, I mean,
Moving forward, my mainstream videos moving forward for this year, I'm going to be putting a lot of the cross game theorizing stuff in there.
uh-huh.
So that should help catch people up to speed.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's good. All right. So let's go on to some of these other questions that the Discord had asked, and I haven't looked at these, so I have
I
no.
did. I looked at them and I put my reaction to ones I liked the most.
Oh, did you? What's the reaction? So I'll skip those.
Oh, it's the totality emote.
Oh, the totality.
The
Okay.
totality emote is my.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's one from Here's one. It's a it may be quick, it may not, but it's from Cold Stone Rob Austin. He has a question. Okay. It asks, and it's got your little emote too. Totality, nice.
Yeah.
Do the fallen leaves really tell a story?
Oh my goodness, that's a phenomenal question. Yes.
Yeah.
The fallen leaves do tell a story. So let's start with what is the Elden Ring? What is Elden Ring?
The Elden Beast?
No, what is Elden Ring?
Like the game? Like it's a disc?
Elden Ring's a video game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what is the Elden Ring? If the Elden Ring is a video game, what is the Elden Ring?
Like in universe or in
universe?
In universe, it's an animal sent by the greater will, I would say.
Well, that's the Elden Beast, which later became the Elden Ring. But what is the Elden Ring? Like
what does it represent?
What's it made out of?
It's made out of.
No, what's it made out of?
I guess light, order, concepts.
Okay,
I would say.
Okay, yeah, but like, what do you need to do to put it back together? Like it shatters, and then like, what do all the people get?
Oh, they get great runes and stuff like that, and you have to have
they get runes.
You need conviction.
What's a rune? What's a rune?
Your thoughts, your conviction.
Oh, you're going too far. You're thinking too hard. You're thinking.
Am I
too hard? What's a rune?
A rune?
Currency. Yeah, you're thinking too hard. What's a rune?
Currency. Pieces of the Elden Ring.
It's not literally. What is a rune?
Like in real life, it's a form of writing, right? Like a symbol.
Yeah, it's a form of writing. It's a symbol. It's like a letter.
Okay.
What happens when you put a bunch of letters together?
They have meaning. It makes
they have meaning. You make a word. When you put a bunch of words together, you get sentences. You put a bunch of sentences together, you can make a story.
Right.
So, Elden Ring is this video game.
Okay.
And when you start the video game, it says the fallen leaves tell a story. And part of that story is collecting all these runes, all these letters, all these words, all these sentences. And you have to get to the end of the game. You have to get to the Elden Ring. And you got to put those runes together. You're putting the runes, the letters, the words that you collected on your gameplay into the Elden Ring, which is inside the game Elden Ring, obviously. And then when you choose your Elden Throne endings, whether it's the Age of Fracture or you use a Mending Rune, the game ends with the fallen leaves tell a story of how a tarnished, or how a tarnished came to her home in the lands between and became Elden Lord or whatever. It says something like that.
Okay.
So the fallen leaves, the story that it's telling is your story of starting Elden Ring, playing through the game, ending Elden Ring.
Oh.
There's a little wrinkle though. So it really is telling a story. Like the Elden Ring and Elden Ring is the story that you decide that it is. But it goes a step further.
Okay.
When we get to Shadow of the Erd Tree, we learn about, when we do Ymir's questline, we do the Mother of Fingers questline, where we learn that the greater will exists in an abyss outside of the microcosm. And if you look at the fleeting microcosm spell, it looks like an eye, and it also looks like the universe. It looks like if you were to like put the universe in a circle with a little black hole in the middle.
Okay.
And we know that the Elden Ring, the Greater Will sent a golden star bearing a beast into the lands between. Later, it would become the Elden Ring. Child of the Urge, we learn that the Greater Will sends stars from outside of the microcosm, outside of the known universe of Elden Ring. So the words for Elden, like the runes that make up the Elden Ring, the words that control the order of the story,
Yeah.
came from outside of the story and came into the lands between.
Oh, that's pretty meta. I get you. Wow.
So when you think about what happened in Elden Ring, when you think about how the order of the story worked, like what was the lore? What did the Crusades look like? What did Bonnie Village look like? What did the Shattering look like? That's essentially you taking your thoughts, you're putting them, you're symbolizing them, you're putting them to runes, and you're sending it into the lands between. And you're saying, this is what the story looks like. Then this is what the story looks like before my guy shows up, and then I'm going to play the game. This is what the story looks like when I played it. And now when you beat the game, all right, close the book on that, story's over. So do the Fallen Leaves really tell a story? If you tell the story of Elden Ring, yes, they do.
Interesting. I've never looked at it that way.
It's very meta. I'll give you an example
It
for
really is.
you only watch Game of Thrones, and if you remember at the end of Game of Thrones, Sam Tarly gives Tyrion Lannister a book, and he's like, "What's this?" He's like, "Oh, it's the history of everything that we did, a song of ice and fire."
Right.
And he's like, "Here we
I
go. Look,
see.
this is a song of ice and fire. It's the story." In
Right.
A Song of Ice and Fire, in the book series George R. R. Martin writes, who wrote the lore for Elden Ring, there is a prophecy. It's in A Clash of Kings. Daenerys Targaryen is at the House of Black and White. She drinks this like blue, purpley liquid and starts seeing visions. And she sees visions of her older brother Rhaegar, and he's talking about these prophecy things, and he's saying that the prince that is promised his song, he will have the song of ice and fire. And Dany talks to Jorah Mormont, and she's like, "What's the song of ice and fire?" And Jorah goes, "It's no song I ever heard of," which is like pretty
Oh.
funny because of course you haven't heard the song of ice and fire because you're in it right now. You're
Wait.
in the Song of Ice and Fire. You're in the story.
Wait a minute. Does that make Tyrion the prince that was promised? I mean, because if he gets
No,
the book, I mean,
no, I don't. The show is different than the books, but it's
okay.
just like they give the hint, the nod of like the book is like showing.
Oh, I see.
There's a lot of prince that was promised. Like Radon is a prince that was promised.
Like in the game.
Well, he's the promised consort. He's a promised consort, and he is a prince of Caria. His mother is Renala of the Full Moon. His father is Radigan with the burning red hair. His song is a little bit like ice and fire, and he's the promised consort. He's a promised prince. Do you know?
Interesting.
Do you know what the prince that was promised? What his sword is called?
In where? In Fire and Ice
In A Song of Ice and Fire.
Ice and Fire? Oh no.
Yeah.
What's
So
it called?
he's supposed to have a burning sword called Lightbringer. If you remember, Stannis Baratheon gets this. He gets a flaming sword. But you know who brings the light in Elden Ring?
Oh wait, I'm thinking. Okay, now we're thinking Elden Ring. Okay,
What?
America.
Yeah, we're going back and forth. I'm
Okay.
trying.
Okay.
Well,
no,
you're at the gate of divinity right now.
right. Oh, Mikla.
Who brings the light? Yeah, and who has swords imbued with light?
Oh, Radon.
The promised consort, the prince that was promised.
Okay, I see. I see.
Literally, like when you get his swords, they're so that one. Do the Fallen Leaves tell a story? That one is a Elden Ring. I mean, A Song of Ice and Fire, Elden Ring parallel. Okay. So yes, it tells a story.
All right, there you go. It does tell a story. Do I think it tells a story? Maybe.
You don't think there's a story?
In the leaves? I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Well, what's in the okay? Okay, can you open up your crafting?
Yeah. Let's see.
Okay, open your
Oh,
crafting.
hold on. Let me click on the game again. All right. Crafting. Okay.
It's a little delayed for me, so it's just gonna give me a
No.
second. I want you to go
Go ahead.
item crafting, and then I want you to go to a holy water pot.
Okay.
I'm
Highly
just waiting
effective.
for it to come up on the stream for.
Sorry. Yeah, there's a
Okay,
bit
yeah.
of a
So
delay.
yeah, it's a holy water pot. It's got the Golden Order fundamentalist symbol on there. It's got the Elden ring on there. How do you make it? What do you use to make a golden holy water pot?
Mushrooms and tarnished golden sunflowers.
Oh wait, which maybe I'm thinking a different one. I'm looking for the Earth Leaf one. I don't remember my items.
Oh, okay.
I guess that's this. All right, scratch that. I was looking for the one that was Erd Leaf.
Oh,
It didn't work. I like
sorry.
to go for item. I wanted to say if it was Erd Leaf because it tells the story.
Dang. Well, I mean,
Yes, but I mean the leaves have the runes in there. They got the grace.
yes.
It
Yes.
still works.
It still works.
It still works.
Let it work. I mean,
Actually, can you open the sunflower for me? I haven't looked at the sunflower in a bit because
sunflower.
I don't. You're not there yet in the mimic commentary, but Erd leaves aren't actually leaves. So I mean, the leaves could tell a story, but they're also not actually leaves. So
Wait,
that's a hard one.
Are they crafting items?
Yeah, they're crafting material.
Man, hold on.
Actually, since we're going to leaves, here's a sneak peek for like episode like 160 of the mimic commentary.
Okay.
Go to your Erd leaf flowers.
I don't think I've ever looked at all these. What did they look like? I may not have any. I don't pick up.
Yeah. Okay. Here you go. Yeah. No, you have them. They're next to melted mushrooms.
Okay. Right there.
So you made this video where you read really closely about Romina's remembrance.
Oh, the twisted
to say that like, yeah, the twisted divine development.
Right.
So I want you to look at Erdleaf flower and then Fire Blossom. Read them and tell me if anything jumps out at you.
Okay, let's see. Brown found throughout the lands between, said to be fed by leaves that fell from the Erd tree in days of antiquity.
Read it aloud. Everyone's got to hear it.
Oh, I was not talking into the mic. Said to be fed by leaves that fell from the Erd tree in the days of antiquity. And what am I looking at? What's the next one?
Okay, so this is the Erd leaf flower is a dusky yellow flower. And it's fed by leaves from the Erd tree for antiquity. Now check the Fire Blossom.
Fire blossom right here. A half ashen and smoldering flower that blooms on the mountaintops of the giants, fertilized by the sparks from the forge at the peaks where burns the flame of ruin. Okay.
So this is a little weird about the leaves, about like falling leaves telling the story. The Fire Blossom is a flower that's fertilized by sparks.
Right.
But the Erd leaf flower is a leaf that turned into a flower. How does that happen?
Compost?
Like the Fire Blossom.
Wow. Yeah.
I'm asking like the Fire Blossom says it's a half ashen and smoldering flower that blooms in the mountaintops. And it's fertilized by sparks from the forge. So it doesn't say anything about leaves here. It's a flower that's fertilized by sparks.
Okay.
But the Erd leaf flower is a flower that was fed by leaves. How does a flower get fed by like? And another thing that's blowing my mind is like, why does it look exactly like Fire Blossom?
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. I've
like,
never read these item descriptions. That's crazy.
The leaves turn into Fire Blossom.
I don't know.
That's a little mimic hunting. So do the fallen leaves tell the story? I don't know because they might.
I would question
it. They might not be leaves. They're flowers.
Right. I would question it because it says it's said to be fed, and it's said to be fed. That phrase always tells me that it's more of a rumor, hearsay, third party information, and probably not to be trusted. Yeah. So
like when you look at like this, the other thing that jumps out to me is if I look at the Miranda powder, like beneath that,
Where is that?
It's beneath the Nicholas lilies.
Okay, here it is. Throughout history, perfumers were prized this extremely fragrant from the Miranda pollen, not yet scattered into the air.
Yeah, what's weird about this one is that it's called a Miranda flower, but inside the flower, doesn't that look like trees?
Oh, I see that. Yeah, I can see that.
What type of tree, what type of flower looks like a tree, and what type of flower is made from leaves? Like, what is going on with all these with all these plants? Like,
Right. Oh, hmm. That is kind of interesting. Like, man, that looks kind of That's weird. That's weird.
yeah, why does this flower look like a tree?
Yeah, it kind of looks like one of those bonsai
So,
trees.
and this is where the fallen leaves really start telling a story because I think the story that they're telling isn't honest.
Right.
There's liars and cheats aplenty in the lands between. Even the flowers.
Wow.
You could even go this a step further. Go to your talismans
Okay.
and look at the resistance talismans that the ancestral followers wear.
Oh wait. Resistance solvents. These.
Uh, I'm still a little behind. It's the horn ones. Oh, you don't have the base game ones.
Oh no, I threw them in the dumpster since I got the since I got
Oh
the
no,
other
you
one.
got to keep those in the inventory. You got to look at them.
No,
Go pull them out.
I got them in the. Let me get them out of the dumpster. Hold on.
Get them out of the dumpster.
All right, let's see. Talismans. No, they're gonna be at the end. Right, I got them. Oh, here they are. All right, there we go.
All right, cool. So go over one of them and just like make sure we could see like the picture really big. Any of them will do.
Okay.
So this says it's a horn. Okay.
Okay.
It's a horn, but it's budding like an antler. And like, look at the edge of the horn and the antler. What does that look like?
Oh, it looks like asparagus.
Yeah, it looks like a plant. So
Right.
how is a bud, a horn, an antler, asparagus?
I have no idea.
You
That's
know what I'm
crazy, man. I never
saying?
looked at
Like,
these.
how could it be all these things? This is how you hunt for mimics.
Wow.
So this is like that's why I was like bringing up the Erd leaf thing because like, is it a leaf or is it a flower or is it not actually know what it is? Like if
Hmm.
you go to deep root depths too,
Uh-huh.
deep root depths is interesting because you'll see the roots and the roots have branches with leaves. And I've never seen a tree that has leaves growing from its roots.
No, me either.
I don't know if that's possible. I've never seen
I've
it.
never seen it, and I've cut down a lot of trees in my profession.
Yeah,
uh,
so like, it's a lot of weird stuff going on in the lands between. So do the fallen leaves tell a story? Yeah, but I don't believe that story.
could it be that these horns that we're looking at here, right? Could it be that they're drying up and
Horns, antlers, buds, or flowers.
and they're drying up and they're peeling back, kind of like if your fingernails get like a little too
If your
dry.
fingernails peel back and there was a flower underneath,
Well,
I think
it
I would
doesn't.
like
I don't. There's
go to
not
the
like
doctor.
there's not a flower, but they seem to be peeling back here. Maybe perhaps they're dried and they're cracking. Maybe you know what I mean. Have you ever
And
had like?
they just happen to look like a plant.
I'm just asking. It looks like asparagus,
Mhm.
but I don't know. That's quite interesting. I never looked at them deeply. Is it all of
Yeah,
them?
this is all crucible stuff. Yeah, it's all everything crucible
Oh,
is kind of funky. Like if you look at the crucible horn shield, that'll show you something really cool.
the crucible horn shield. I think that's in the dumpster too. Hold
Yeah,
on.
it's the one Ordovis uses.
Yeah. Let's see. Here it is. It's got the
It's best if you equip. It's
oh
best if you equip it
equipment.
so you can really see what's going on.
All right, let's see.
Yeah.
Let me get up against something. Let's go up here.
All right. So I see that big horn in the center, and I see a horn budding at the top. But what are those things that aren't black horns? What are those things?
Oh, I believe those are roots. Oh, you mean the other
You
circular
think,
things, or the things coming out of
yeah,
the
the
center?
circular things, where the roots are like, what are those things?
Rivets? I that's what I would have assumed. You know?
Like, look in the inside of the shield too. Look behind the big horn.
Hmm.
One of those things is there, right behind that big horn,
Yeah.
and it's got veins or roots or something.
Oh, see, because those roots remind me of what you see in the Erd tree and in the shadow tree at night when it's glowing, or you can see them right here.
Yeah,
Just
yeah. Isn't that like, what are those things? What are those little things that the horns and the roots are coming out of?
I have no idea. It's I think there's a I don't know what that is. That's the roots of reality or something. I don't know, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, think it too hard.
Well, what do you think they are?
I think it's spores. They look like this looks like a mycelial network, and those look like little spore pods
Oh, I see what you mean.
growing into horns. Because look, you see that horn there. If you flip it on the inside, you see one of those little spores at the base of it. It's all,
Inter-
mushrooms are all over the place. The basic crafting material is a mushroom.
right. And yeah, and I
The
think I saw a lore theory where there were the ghosts about the mushrooms and stuff like that. Who was that? I forget who it was.
Hell, even Ronnie's hat is a mushroom.
Is it?
Yeah, wear her hat. Look at her hat. It's a big blue mushroom.
I can't wear the hat, but we'll look at it. We'll look at it. Can't
Why
have
can't you wear the hat?
no face reveals. You know what I mean? Let's see. It's a little
Face reveals.
yeah. It's a little game we play. Let's see. Do I have Ronnie? Oh,
Well,
I think.
if you tilt your head down far enough, you could put on Ronnie's hat if you tilt your head down far enough.
All right.
No one will see your face.
Let me see if wonder if I gave it to one of my alts. If I have it, I don't think I have it.
You don't even have any of the mushroom hats.
No, I got this mushroom hat. I got the crown.
Yeah, that's the real. That is very mushroomy. That is legit just mushrooms.
Yeah, which I find really interesting about these lords of Scarlet Rot. I mean, that's crazy,
Yeah, they see holy vestments. They see gods in the mushrooms.
right? And it makes me wonder if like these great lords that served the Scarlet Rot. I wonder where like when these people were around, what their civilization looked like, things like that. Just
They're in the ancient dynasty. That's where you find the crown.
oh really? Oh, hmm.
Yeah, this one's found in the Lake of Rot. It's
Oh,
found in ancient dynasty structures.
well, we just got our answer, everybody. Wow, that's pretty good. I never thought about that. Because
Yeah,
I
you
just
gotta
thought,
figure. You just see where you pick up the item.
well, see, I tend to think that like sometimes that an item's placed there doesn't actually mean that it's meant to be there because there's like numerous ways.
Oh.
There's numerous ways that items get to certain places, right? And so I don't know. I tend to question things
yeah,
like
no,
that.
there's multiple ways, but why would they put it in the ancient dynasty?
I don't know. To confuse you.
Who
To
would have brought
let
it
you know.
there?
Somebody who was traveling. I have no idea. See, that's what I wonder.
These guys don't travel. If you go to a place like Stillwater Cave, which
Uh-huh.
is the first cave you can enter in Liurnia, that's where you fight the first, what's her name? The Clean Rot Knight. You'll see that the people wearing mushroom crowns, they're bent over in prayer. And when you disturb them, they have to break the fungus off of them because they're kind of stuck in place. So people who are wearing these these fungal bodies on them, they're not making many pilgrimages. They're going somewhere where their holy vestment, like where their holy site is, and then they're hunkering down and letting this fungus grow on them. So much so that they just get locked in place.
Interesting. I'll have to go. I'll have to go look.
Now you could argue that you could argue that someone came to the Lake of Rot, but I would argue further that these people turned into the pests because you can find them transforming in Caelid.
Right. I've seen that. I've seen the eggery or whatever, the hatchery. I thought that was a little disturbing.
The Waypoint ruins.
Yeah. And I was like, man, this is weird. And I was like, are they using like, because at first I had thought that they were using the bodies as like incubators and stuff like that, or to lay their eggs
They're
inside of.
doing rebirth.
Oh, is that what you think they're doing rebirth?
Yeah, so those little guys, those little pest guys, they have the same animations as Renala's juvenile scholars.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So
I
they're,
never
and
thought
if
about
you
that.
look at the poison spells, if you go to like Poison Mist, which you get from the Weeping Peninsula,
Uh-huh.
in the Poison Swamp near Castle Morn, it says rot is rebirth put into practice. So these pests most likely are people who were reborn as pests.
Oh, okay. See, because when I read that, I understood that your physical self would die and you would, instead of like rotting away your body, you would just become a mushroom. You would become part of the scenery, kind of like
Yeah,
what
mate,
was
you
it
could
like?
become a mushroom, or it's either
Yeah,
mushrooms or rot pests.
yeah. Because I was thinking more like what was it? That what's that movie with the pirates where the pirate dad was like part of the ship at the in the movie. It's a one of those pirate movies. I don't know.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
There you go. That's what it's called. That one.
I haven't seen them, so I
Oh,
just I don't know.
spoilers. Oh, dang.
That's fine. I'm not. I don't care.
Okay, good. Well, yeah, like there's a scene where, the ships are all like mushroomy and when you stay on the ship too long, you become part of the ship and you start growing mushrooms and become part of the hull. And like this guy pops out and he's like, son, or something like that. And he's like, I'm a mushroom. And it's like, oh, gross. So I was thinking that was the type of rebirth. Instead of being your humanoid self, you form into a mushroom spore or something like that.
Well, at least we're on the same page for rebirth.
Yeah, there you go. All right, let's get another question going. Let's see. What time? Oh, we still got time. All right, so let's see. All right, we'll do one from Boss Saucer because he's been pretty excited like all week, asking that if you were going to answer his question or if we were going to skip it. So for Boss, we're gonna ask this question because he
All right, what's
was
his question?
he was excited. Okay, here it is. All right. Well, I lost it. Where'd it go? Oh, here it is. All right. Boss wants to ask, is it possible to say my hypothesis of what happens to spirits after death and how they act is close to what actually is happening? A cycle a cycle similar to real life, water a cycle of precipitation, collection, evaporation, and condensation. So he has like this
Okay.
whole like water
Yeah.
theory.
Okay. So, I wouldn't personally. I won't be able to like go into like I don't know what exactly your theorizing is for like the water life cycle. But I will say that thinking about souls and water is the right avenue to go. So we think about something like the primeval current. Um, and like we're asking, like, what is really the primeval current? We don't really know what the primeval current is. We know it has to do with glintstone, and we know that glintstone is like the amber of the cosmos, and it's residual life. So when we think residual life, we think of like the life that's left over. And I would think like, when somebody dies, like if they have a ghost or a spirit, or like they're cremated and you have spirit ashes, well, then that would be the residual life. So is the primeval current related to like like souls and spirits? Then like if you go to Nokron and you want to get to deeper depths, well, you have to get into a coffin and it flies a stone coffin. The stone coffin flies up the waterfall. And then if you want to go to Ainsel River from deeper depths, you got to get into another coffin and ride down the waterfall. So they're tying death and stone coffins to flowing on this current. Recently, I started a playthrough of Duracine. Do you know what Duracine is?
Isn't that 3D game that they came out for like a few
Yeah,
years
it's
ago?
2018 VR game
A
directed by
VR
Hidetaka
game.
Miyazaki, developed by From Software. And I haven't uploaded this episode yet, but we recently learned about the River of Prayer in this game. And this game says that it's a very, very on the nose FromSoft lore, um, like like treasure trove. Currently, the playthrough is on my channel for members, tier 2 members.
Mhm.
And in the River of Prayer, they talk about how like when someone dies, their soul goes into the river, and we pray to the river of prayer to help their souls on that journey. So we have in Durasane souls going into a river, going into the water. We also have within Dark Souls 3 human dregs, which sink to the lowest depths imaginable. Human dregs are just humanity sprites. Humanity sprites are parts of the dark soul. So is the question, is there a real life cycle of precipitation, collection, evaporation, and condensation? I can't say, but what I can say is that souls and spirits within From Software's lore is intrinsically tied to water.
Hmm.
One of our members, Zafri Shadow, who did the branding on my new branding on my channel, she said River Styx, which is like exactly that. It's, we have Charon, the Tibia Mariners, Karos Hidden Grave, bringing souls on the river. If you go beneath Stormvale Castle, you see boats with coffin boats for people to go in. The stone coffins and the Fisher are like ships. So definitely anything you want to do with souls traveling on the water. The Blue Dancer has a flowing sword. The Dancer in Blue is a fairy, so we're getting fairies, which are kind of spiritual entities as well, tied to water. Soap, if you use soap, it talks about cleaning your spirit, so we can tie cleaning a spirit to water. So, um, yeah, if you want to do, if you're having difficulty figuring out some of the spiritual stuff, just look at water, and then anything that has to do with water, you can tie it back to spirits, like torrent, the primeval current, even the crucible stuff. The horns we were talking about earlier about the question of the week, how the horns are fused with spirituality. If you were to look at Devonia's hammer, you'll see that the things that we see on the crucible shield, those little spore pods, those are a torrent of life.
Hmm. Interesting.
Yeah, if you open up Devonia's hammer and you look at the symbol on there, it'll say it says the torrent of life thing, which ties to, spirits and water.
Oh, okay. All right.
So
Nice.
I hope that makes boss happy.
I think it will. He's pretty happy. I've been watching the chat. Okay, let's see. Let's see.
What I like to do is I really like I I personally don't like to say someone else's theory is wrong. I like to take someone else's theory and try and find ways we can make it more correct.
Right. Interesting. Yeah, I tend to just let people, you know, b- believe what they want, because it's interesting because it's a reflection of themselves. And I know as a whole, we all probably try to figure out what the real story, what the real meaning of everything is in this game. But I've kind of given up on that because it's like because who was it? There was somebody that called in last week. It was Light Ronin, and he's come into the Discord, and he has like this really meta way of seeing the game, like the disc, Elden Ring, everything about it is the Crucible, and we bring our I guess our biases and our experiences to Elden Ring, to the game itself, and
Hmm.
and in there we have this experience that we all can share, but it's a personal experience for
I
each of
think
us.
yeah, I think so too. If you look at the fleeting microcosm spell, it's literally an eye.
Uh-huh.
And inside of that eye is the universe. It's, when you look at Elden Ring, you're just seeing the world the way that you see it.
Mm.
But Elden Ring is really special in this way in that it it not only it's how you see the world, but the world that you see isn't always true. It's full of mimics, it's full of liars, it's full of cheats, and it's full of truth. And not just one truth, but multiple truths. Like you're at the gate of divinity. This is where you fight Mikola. You kill Mikola and it says God slain. But when you go to the Erd Tree and you fight the Elden Ring and it turns into the Elden Beast, you kill the Elden Beast, it says God slain. So in in Elden Ring, what does God look like?
Interesting. I have no idea.
It looks like a big space bug, or it looks like words and runes, or it looks like a child made of light. Like God looks like so many different things. To the horn scent, they think God is a horned lion with blonde braided hair made up of two people. To people of the Erd tree, they think God is a woman with the Elden Ring inside of her. So like, you know, it and how someone sees like God or a higher power or spiritual power, that's very personal.
Mm,
So there
true.
is no like the one truth that you're gonna find in Elden Ring is like your truth. My goal with my theorizing is to say that everyone's theorizing is correct, and that means if you agree with my theorizing, your theorizing is correct, but my theorizing is more correct because it enables you to be correct too.
That's right. I like the way you think.
So
Well,
everyone's a winner. Everyone's a winner, but I win the most.
as it should be. As it should be. I like that. I like that. I like that. You're funny. Okay, let me see. Let me ask you another question. Let's see. Base Serpent here has one. He says, "What happens to someone who ate Bale's heart and got a communion beast? What? What would happen if someone? Oh, what would happen to someone who ate Bale's heart and got a communion beast like Sharash?"
Okay, so if you eat Bale's heart, you will become Bale
Mm-hmm.
in spirit and body. That's what that's either his heart or the incantations say that.
Right.
And let's say it's I guess like let's just think like God like Horlu. He has Sarash on his back and he eats Bale's heart. I think Sarash is getting fucking obliterated and annihilated and just turned into ashes because Bale does not want some, little furry kitty cat on his shoulders. He's full of anger and wrath and rage, and he is going to incinerate that little lion.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. It's about Bale. What do you think Bale's motive was for him to do what we learned that he did? Uh,
Okay, so he's category he is um his character is all about anger and
uh
rage. So something had to have happened that made him so angry with Placidusax. Now we learn that from Florisax, she says that he is the oldest, vilest dragon. Okay, so
mhm.
Bale is the oldest dragon. And to eat his heart would be the purest form of dragon communion. So he has the purest form of dragon communion, and he is the oldest dragon. If you do the um, Domain of Dragons painting found in the Shadow Keep, and then you go into Jagged Peak and you solve the painting, you get the Rock Heart, which
Oh,
is the ancient original form of Dragon Communion, which boosts Dragon Communion incantations. And it turns turns one's human flesh into ancient dragons. So, what
oh,
could have made Bale so angry? Other people could have been eating the hearts of dragons, becoming dragons, and overtaking his throne, overtaking his kingdom, because he's a tyrant, he's a leader.
mm.
And now you have these humans hunting dragons, eating their hearts, becoming dragons, becoming ancient dragons. And now they're saying, we are the rulers.
Interesting.
So
So
I think that's what made Bale angry.
nice. Okay, I like that take. I like that take. Hmm. All right, let's see. Let's do another one. This one's from Plain Berry. If the Erd tree is shaped from America's original divine form, could Radagon be a divine scale mimic, a constructed reflection designed as a vessel for America's will, rather than a true separate being? This would explain why Radagon is America, yet America is not Radagon. America remains the originating will anchored in the Erd tree eternally, while Radagon, as her mimic vessel, develops a partial emergent will of his own. It also aligns with the will challenging or channeling metaphysics seen in Bellerot and Aenir Lim, and clarifies Radagon's contradictions and their unstable final fusion. Does this model better resolve the Golden Order's identity paradox? That's a wow. There's a lot
So
there.
I don't really know what the question is. I don't know
Yeah.
I don't know what the Golden Order's identity paradox is. Um, if the Erd Tree is shaped from America's original divine form, are they saying that's because it's a tree? Well, I think the Erd Tree is a giant fungus that is mimicking a tree. I don't think it's actually,
I think so. I think a
but
lot of
it's a different
people.
type of fungus that America is.
Well, there is that uh that wave of believing that like the shamans are all tree people. So perhaps they're thinking that
Well,
she was a tree.
my theorizing is that the shamans are all putrescents. Like Newmans are the putrescents,
Oh, I
and
think that too.
they just take the form of like they're the original mimics.
Interesting.
I don't know what a divine scale mimic is. The only things that I know that do mimicry within Elden Ring is putrescence, crucible, and silver tears.
Yeah. The Golden
So he's
Order's
one of those three,
identity politics.
and I think he's a silver tear mimic.
Yeah, I'm because you've said that the mimic commentary is all about Radagon, right? And
Yep.
eventually, I suppose you'll get to that point where you'll talk about Radagon being a silver mimic or a mimic tier.
Yeah, we need to get to Leyndell, to the capital, to be able to say he's a mimic.
Dang.
We're already kind of doing it now with Nokron because we have a few of the items, but we can't confirm it until we get to the capital. The reason why the mimic commentary is about Radigan
Mm-hmm.
is because each of the areas are kind of like a sequential story about um, Radigan. You start, and it has you have to be part of Radigan as a mimic theorizing. And the important things about mimics is the memory loss after rebirth. So Radigan is a character, if he's a mimic, that means he has previous lives that he doesn't remember. And we see those previous lives. First, we see a previous life in Limgrave and Weeping Peninsula. Then we see him in his current form in Liurnia. Then we see another past life in Caelid. Then we go back to Altus, so we see his life after Liurnia. Then we go to the mountaintops, and then we go back in time again. And then we go Halig Tree, which is going forward. And then we do Land of Shadow, where we do America. So we kind of do back and forth. Like the way that the levels are sequenced are um, like the two parallel stories of Radigan's lives. Radigan's life in the rebirth past, and then his life as Radigan. And the reason why the Mimic commentary is framed around Radigan is because he is a parallel to the player character. He starts off as a warrior, starts off as a champion. That's what we all do. We want to play these games because we just want to fight and stuff. Then, as Queen, the Radigan's icon says, as husband of the Queen of Caria, he studied sorcery. Well, that's kind of like what we did, you know. I played the game, I fought the monsters, and then I wanted to know like what was the lore, what was like the science behind everything, like what was like why is the game the way it is? Then he marries Queen Marika, and when he's married to Queen Marika, he studies incantations. He starts studying religion and spirituality. Not everyone gets to that point. I'm currently kind of like in that point in my experience in life where I'm like looking for spiritual answers and things. And in doing so, thus does the hero aspire to be complete. So he faces these physical challenges. Then he starts asking questions about the nature of science and the world. Then he starts asking questions about the nature of the self and the spirit. And then eventually he reaches totality. So the Mimic commentary being about Radigan is going through that process and showing, you know, while I play the Mimic commentary and I ask these questions and we try and think about the world, like that's how I imagine Radigan as a character was also asking questions about the world, thinking about what was these things, what happened, and then eventually he would recover his memories, and that's what happened to me. I recovered memories I didn't know I had, and the reason why I recovered memories I didn't know I had is because I was thinking with Golden Order fundamentalism. I was thinking with causality and regression in my own life, and then that's what triggered it. I
Mm.
was thinking about I was thinking about What were the things that led to this moment? And then I couldn't, there was gaps in my memory. There was gaps in explanation. So I used regression. I looked backwards. I was like, okay, well, I'm like this. And like what happened was my mom said something. She just said something like innocuous. Like it didn't mean anything. And then that like triggered a panic attack. And I was like thinking back, I was like, what did she say? Why did she say that? Why did that affect me? And I was like, okay, well, I felt this. And then before that, I felt this before, and then backwards, 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 boom. I
Wow.
found I found the link in the chain by looking backwards. So because I had that experience, I was like, this is what must have happened to Radigan. This is how he learned who he was and what his life was like, and that he learned he was a mimic.
Wow.
So the story of Radigan is like how I try to tell my story and like how thinking about the games, um, like really changed my life in a very dramatic way.
That's very interesting, man. Wow. And
Yeah, be careful. Regression can fuck you up.
I believe it. I believe it.
Yo, it can fuck you up. You might find something you didn't know was there and you don't want it.
No, I've gone through therapy. I've done all that, man. But if Radagon, so let me ask. This might sound like a stupid question, but I guess in your point of view,
No such thing.
Radagon is the main character then in your point of view.
No, so Radigan is America.
Okay.
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 And if Radigan's a mimic, I think America is a mimic as well.
Have to
We
be.
see them change at the end of the game.
Okay.
I think there's a lot of protagonists in the story, but our main characters, Radigan, America, Ronnie, Mikola. Parentheses Melina too. But Melina is Radigan in America.
What? What?
Yeah.
Can you make that one a little bit clearer?
Melina is the reborn spirit of America.
Okay. All right. I see.
So this is how I see it.
Okay.
This is how I see it.
All right. I'm listening.
The America we see at the end of the game is the mimic. Okay? And the
Okay.
mimic has two primary identities. The America identity and the Radigan identity. The
Okay.
Radigan identity gets killed multiple times throughout the story. He is the king of Castle Morn. He is the hero. He is the revenger. He is a dragon. He is a beast lord. He's all these things. He's the storm lord. He's the Birdman. He dies. He does his part in the story. He makes sure the story moves forward, but he forgets, and he does it again and again and again until he becomes Radigan, and he learns this history.
Okay.
America's a little different. America, the America side of the mimic, she is mimicking America, the Glomide Queen, the woman who came from the shaman village, who escaped the horn scent, who went to Farum Azula and became the god of Placiduous X, who
Oh,
became
I
the
see.
god of dragons.
Okay.
Unfortunately, she fights the will of the fingers. She gets killed by Malekith, destined death. She gets turned into the Finger Slayer blade. She's dead and gone.
Interesting. Okay.
But the Erd tree is hewn from memories. When we take our trip with Melina, she doesn't know her purpose. She doesn't know who she is. She doesn't know anything. She just knows that she says that her mother gave her a purpose inside the Erd tree. Then we get to the Erd tree, and Melina's like, I know what I got to do now. And then she says, I've long observed this world. What I'm thinking happened is, Melina's an amnesiac because when you're reborn, memories fade into oblivion. You forget.
Okay.
But the Erd tree is literally like a hard drive of memories. It's hewn for memories. You beat a boss, it's hewn from those memories. So Melina goes to the Erd tree and she gets those memories back. And that's what I think the America side of the mimic was doing. Just tapping into the tree, downloading those memories again, and remembering their past lives. The Radigan side of the mimic is not remembering the past lives. So he's just like going through the motions. He's like a slave to fate. and the Marika side is like orchestrating it.
Wow.
Fortunately enough for her, though, the
Mhm.
shadow tree is separated from the Erd tree. So Melina, when she gets her memories, this time when she gets her memories, she doesn't remember what's in the land of shadow. So she gets to be ignorant of all that darkness.
Oh, okay. I see.
Does that make
Hmm.
sense?
Yeah, it does. It does.
If you need the deeper theorizing, you can ask me for the evidence in a later time because I could just,
Yeah, no,
it
no, no.
requires like the whole game to show this. And that's like why I do the mimic commentary as well, because I need to show you what the story looks like from start to finish
Hmm.
so it makes sense. Because it's all there, but it requires looking at how the information is presented to us when we play the game in a sequential way.
All right. Let me ask you this about this theory of yours that you have here, and it sounds really good. I like the way it sounds. Um,
It also, this happened in Dark Souls.
oh,
Like, this is literally the plot of Dark Souls 2.
don't say that.
Yeah, it's
Then
just like, it's literally just the plot of Dark Souls.
okay. I guess is that where you got this theory from? I was going to ask what inspired
No,
this
I was
theory.
just, no, I was just doing Elden Ring stuff. I was just doing Elden. What inspired was doing causality regression in my real life and then getting triggered and then just replaying the games and being like, oh,
And it
this
just
was the
all
story the whole time.
clicked just like that. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's amazing, man.
Because I think the game was designed in that way. Like, I don't think, like, what happened to me was such a profound experience that, uh, um, I think that the reason why it happened is because that was the story being told. Like,
Mhm.
there's a lot of references to like the karmic cycle within Dark Souls, where are you familiar with like the idea of karma?
Very little. I just know it's like you get whatever energy you put out or something like that, equal force or something. I'm not. That's pretty
So
much all I know.
yeah, you put whatever good you put in the world, you get the good back. Whatever bad you put in the world, you get the bad back.
Mhm.
But it ties into your next life as well. Like it's part of like the rebirth cycle within actual like in Buddhism, the karmic cycle. Like the goal is to reach nirvana, where you break out of the karmic cycle.
Mhm.
And um, karma is sometimes translated to causality. Like if you read Berserk, they say causality all the time, but in Japanese it's karma. If the law of causality in English, that's the causality, but in Japanese it's karma. The law of causality has the same effect as the spell in Dark Souls 1, karmic justice. So it's the law of causality is you make a little ring and you get hit and then it retaliates damage backwards. It's the same thing as karmic justice.
Okay.
So this idea of like karma of what you do in your past lives affecting you in your future lives, um, and what you're trying, like I think from my understanding, the goal is that like you want to do as much good in each life, so the next life can also be good.
Wow.
And they push that forward in Sekiro with a lot of the Buddhist philosophy because Sekiro is all about Buddhism. The Buddha is mentioned multiple times. And we see actually a lot of Buddhism in Shadow of the Erd Tree. So tying those Buddhist concepts and the karmic concepts from Eastern religions is kind of where I fall into the real world influence for those rebirths and like Radigan forgetting and then eventually trying to like become complete.
Hmm. Wow. Wow.
We go
I,
crazy with the mimic in
I,
the mimic community.
I'm about to say you think about this game a lot different than I do, and I think it's fascinating. There's a lot to chew on,
Yeah, we all see the
honestly.
world differently.
Yeah. Hmm. All right. Let me ask you this. Okay, with your theory, did Night Rain change any of that or influence or do you think it um what's
Which
the word?
Night Rain just helped prove, like help felt like I just proved me right.
Yeah.
Because
With
I was like, my thing was like, yeah, my goal was like time travel, and like Night Rain is just like the self-defeating. Like all my theorizing is like, um, the story is predetermined. It's
yeah.
fated. It's written in the words of the Elden Ring. Like when you open the first page of a book, the last page is already there.
Yeah.
But as a video game, we get to make some different choices. Unfortunately, not every single ending can be the full canonical ending.
Right.
Every single one of the endings has a flash of white light, except for Ronnie's ending.
Yeah.
Um, so Night Rain to me was just like proving the like this is where the timelines, like if you choose the Age of the Duskborn, your story is going to end in Night Rain. Like it ends with a Night Lord washing everything away.
Wow.
And my favorite part of Night Rain is Wilder's and Duchess's quest line because it shows how a time paradox happens and how the time paradox happens.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. 'Cause, listening to you, um, what do you
Oh, sorry,
think?
my dog's going crazy. I don't know
Oh,
if you can hear her.
oh, no worries, man. No worries. What do you think about the Elden John map and how it represents? It's a real life map here in reality. What do you think about that
Oh,
yourself?
oh yeah, that's actually a really important one. So that's the Imoga Mundi. Turnish archaeologist was the first person to find out. The Imoga Mundi is is the oldest map of the world. It's from ancient. It was from Babylon, found in ancient Mesopotamia. Do you know what the nickname for Mesopotamia is?
Nope.
The land between two rivers.
Really? Oh wait, I think he
Yep.
said that in his
Uh,
video, didn't he?
I don't know if he said that in his video, but I've mentioned it in the Mimic commentary.
Oh, then it's probably Elden.
Um, in one of my in my George R. R. Martin wrote Elden Ring video, Hidetaka Miyazaki says that the lands between was a name that was specifically chosen by George R. R. Martin, and George R. R. Martin likes one of his favorite genres is historical fiction. He likes to use history to tell his stories, like Game of Thrones is based off of the War of the Roses.
Right.
So, um, him choosing the lands between as the name evokes the land between two rivers. And what are the two rivers in the lands between?
What are Sophia River or whatever it's called, and that other one.
Yeah, the Shifra and the Shifra and the Ainsel.
There you go. That's how you pronounce them.
So those are both, well, they're Gaelic words. Do you know what they translate to?
Nope, I don't. I don't know Gaelic.
All right, so Ainsel translates to myself or my own self.
Okay.
So one of the rivers that the lands between is between myself. Shifra translates to changeling.
Uh.
Changelings in Gaelic mythology is when a fairy would steal a baby from a crib
Mhm.
and they would put a changeling in there, and the changeling would look just like the child. In
Really?
Shifra River, we can fight the Mimic Tear, and the Mimic Tear drops two larval tears. A larva, like a child tear. It can be used to make a copy. We also find two ancestral spirits that we can travel to fight their spirits. We have two copies of the ancestral spirits. We find D, the second D. So we find the second D out of the two down there.
Yep.
We find the twin gargoyle fight down in Shifra River. And then we can also find Mikola. We find the way at the end of Shifra River, we find Mikola, and we can go to Shadow of the Erd Tree. At the end of Ainsel, we find Ronnie as her doll on the Moonlight Altar. So the lands between myself and the Changeling, or it's the lands between myself and the Mimic, the lands between the lands between Ronnie and Mikola, the lands between the doll and the Eternal Child.
Hmm. That's very
Isn't
interesting.
that cool?
That's yeah. That's wow. That's mind blowing, bro. That's really good.
That will
Hmm.
be in my Moon video.
Is it okay? Good. All right. Let me grab another. Wow, that's really good. Okay. Let me grab another question out of the here.
Yo, I'm telling you, I
Yeah.
I I don't like to toot my own horn, but I'm gonna toot it.
Toot it,
I'm the
man.
best in the game, baby.
You're
I'm
the.
the best in the game.
That's why you're the goat, bro. That's why you're the goat.
But everyone else has very good ideas too.
Yeah,
I
for
wouldn't
sure.
be here without other people.
For sure. For sure. All right. So this question comes from Juju. It says, is the tarnished an undead from another land? Notice that all the tarnished fingers items we use are said to contain corpse wax. If so, what's the difference between the tarnished, those who live in death, and those lost in death?
Okay, so when he says or they say, I don't know if how they identify. So I'm sorry for saying he. Um, the tarnished. When are all the other tarnished? Yes, I do think most of them come from outside the lands between. Our tarnished? No, I think our tarnished is from inside the lands between.
You think it's Godwin?
The beginning of the game. No, it's not Godwin. Godwin's dead. Godwin's dead as dicks. Um,
It's a dead pecker club over here. Anyways, go ahead. Sorry.
um, right now I'm trying to theorize. Like I think our tarnished is a mimic from the Halig tree. That's kind of where I have them at. Um, but to answer the question, what's the difference between the tarnished, those who live in death, and those lost in death? So the tarnished are ye dead who yet live. So they were someone who died, and then grace was given to them, and then they were brought back to life. But they were brought back to life in the lands between. So they died outside of the lands between, and they're brought into the lands between. In um, Night Rain, we learn from Wilder's first journal entry. Let me pull it up. Let me just find it.
Okay.
I think the Wilder departed from his faraway home, braving the sea of fog to reach Linville. A night farer's foray withers the soul and clouds recollection, causing one night to bleed into the next. But of one thing he remained certain, that he must track down the Night Lord and bury it. There was no choice. He repeated the words to himself, all the while clenching a precious object in his hand, a solitary earring, its counterpart long lost. So we learn from Wilder that his foray withers the soul and clouds recollection. That's rebirth. So someone's died and has been reborn. When we do Duchess's quest line, we learn that she's trying to help the Wilder in the outside world because he came here with injuries. He was hurt in the outside world, and when he was drawn to the lands between, if you beat Margit at the beginning of Night Rain, Wilder sits in a chair and falls asleep, and then wakes up in the Round Table Hold. If you played Bloodborne, this is how the scholars, the Mensis scholars, they fell asleep and entered the dream that way. So essentially, what it looks like is the Tarnished are people who died outside the lands between, but from the intro slides, it looks like as soon as they died or were just about to die, grace was given to them. And their like soul and their consciousness or whatever was pulled into the lands between. This is different than those who live in death and those who are lost in death. Those who live in death are spirits inhabiting corpses. Spirits within the lands between, inhabiting corpses within the lands between, literal dead bodies. They are living inside of death. They are living in a corpse. Okay. This is as opposed to a tarnished who they're dead, but they yet live. Their body is alive. They have died and now they're alive. Those who live in death, their spirits are living inside of a dead corpse. They're skeletons. They're dead. Those lost in death, those are the spirits who don't have direction. They need a leader. They need someone to tell them, hey, go into the tree. Hey, go into this urn. Hey, go to this death bird. Hey, go into this dead body. Hey, go into these horns. They're lost in death. They don't have anywhere to go. They don't know where to go. Someone has to direct their souls. And that's like one of the major conflicts within Elden Ring and the Lands Between is this like soul economy, like trying to like control rebirth and where souls are going to be reborn and who gets to control that. If you look at larval tears in Lands Between, they're all silver tear mimics. They're cores of their creature mimicry. But if you look at them in the Land of Shadow, they're between life and they're between flesh and spirit. Right. They're going through the rebirth process. They're like souls. You can see them inside of Selen's primal glintstone, which is her heart. So inside of her heart is her soul. And now we're like, oh, okay, now I see why eating dragon hearts makes turn someone into a dragon, or why eating the heart of Baal turns someone into a dragon, because his spirit is still living inside of the heart.
Amazing.
So with that, you need a still beating heart. And the tarnished, they have beating hearts, but those who live in death don't have beating hearts. Those who are lost in death, they don't have anything. They got to find somewhere to go.
what a wonderful take.
You can actually.
I never considered it for it to be rooted. You know, the title of their essence or whatever, their title, whatever, to be rooted in their physical form or anything like that. I think that's wow. That makes a
Oh
lot
yeah,
of
some of the
sense.
stuff in Elden Ring is very literal.
Yeah. Wow.
Like you read the words closely and like see if they're being true or not.
Right.
Because this is why I was talking about like the crucible stuff before, where like we're looking at a Miranda powder. It says Miranda flower, but they look like little trees. Like something's funky is going on there. But when
Right.
you look at those who live in death, they're like, well, there's some vengeful spirits and a skeleton. That makes sense to me. You know, how are you going to argue against that? But when I look at, flowers that look like trees, that look like roots, that look like horns, that are called antlers, that or have roots with leaves, and it's like, well, somebody's screwing up here.
Interesting. Wow. Wow. Anyways, let me ask you one last question. One last question because it's almost 9 o'clock
Okay.
and I got work in the morning. All right. So this question is gonna may not be a doozy, but I think it's a doozy. Um, and it's something that I've always wondered. When they talk about Vike, it's a Vike question. Who do you think his two runes he had belonged to?
Oh, okay. So, I recently, so last week, the reason why I had to cancel was because I went to the Elden Ring Symphonic Adventure,
Uh huh.
and in the Symphonic Adventure, um, it is 2 hours. It's orchestra and a choir playing the Elden Ring soundtrack,
Really?
and in the background they have um, gameplay, and it's beautifully directed. It's the same no matter where you see it. It's been going on for like 2 years now. No matter where you see it, it's always going to be the same gameplay. And they were using weapons and items and armor that um, like had a lot of lore significance. So I'll give you one example. Like when they were playing the ancestral spirits uh, um, fight, and they were playing that music, their build, they had the Bloody Helus sword, which is from one of Moog's guys. Like you get it from like the Rye, the Blood Runes, and Altus.
Uh-huh.
Then, after he was fighting the ancestral spirit with that weapon, he switched to Radahn's great bow, and he did Radahn's Rain using a Golem arrow.
Mm.
And to get the Radahn's Rain Ash of War, you have to go do the Redmane painting. And next to the Redmane painting is the laser golem. So golem arrows using the Radahn Ash of War on the Radahn bow. But when we think of Radahn and Moog, we have to think of Miquella wanted Radahn's soul in Moog's body. And the ancestral spirit, there's two in the Shifa River. You touch the dead body of the ancestral spirit, and you're teleported to the Land of Shadow, and you chase after Miquella's, like the second Miquella.
Mm.
Miquella's body is in Shifa River with both of the ancestral spirits.
Oh.
So this symphonic orchestra was very, very on the nose with the builds they were using and the lore significance. And one of the builds they were using was regular knight armor, a spear, and dragon incantations, lightning incantations. And they showed this character fight Radahn, and I don't remember. I have to look through my notes and who else they fought. And then they showed that character go to the three fingers, take off their armor, and then after this three fingers grab, then they put on Vike's armor. So my theorizing after watching that, originally I was thinking Vike never had two great runes because Vike doesn't need two great runes to get to the mountaintops of the giants. The only person who needs two great runes is our Tarnished. We know that there's Tarnished who are and we need it to get to the capital. But there were Tarnished in the capital without having two great runes. Like we do the mansion quest line. We fight Vagrim and Wilhelm in the Round Table Hold. They each have two great runes?
Mm. No, not that I
That'd
know
be
of.
four great runes. Whose great runes do they have? Yeah, so like we also find Juno Hoslow up in the mountaintops.
Right.
How did he get past this rule? You
Hmm.
know? We
Yeah.
find Bernard. Bernard cast his maiden into the fire. How did he get these great runes? So I was theorizing. I think the game initially wants us to think that Gideon has the two great runes.
Okay.
But then, now I'm thinking, Vike had 2 great runes in a previous cycle. Like, he was the tarnished of the Round Table Hold. Like, he was our character in a previous new game cycle. But he's not a human being. He's not a person holding the controller. He is not the vessel for the Lord's soul. He's not our vessel. So when he tried to fight fate and he went to do the frenzied flame, it broke his mind. Like, he learned he might have been in a video game and he puts himself in this ever jail.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see. I
He
see. Very
puts himself
meta.
in the ever jail. It is very meta. And Enya, when she says, I've seen 2 before, she might not be talking about the same new game cycle. Like, I'll give you an example. Like, Hugh loses his memories when you burn the Round Table Hold.
Right.
But he starts like he knows he's a blacksmith. He knows he has to do things. And when you see Hugh in New Game Plus, he's like, and you bring him Roderica. He's like, oh, I've seen a girl like her before. She was a spirit tuner. They have the same eyes. And then you go through the story and he forgets. Then you do New Game Plus again, and there he is again. And who's he talking about when he talks about these eyes? Well, for me, I'm thinking he's remembering past new game cycles. The Roderica, he's teaching Roderica how to be a spirit tuner because he taught
Interesting.
Roderica how to be a spirit tuner before.
Oh,
And I
that's
feel like Enya is saying the same things there too. Like, she's like, oh, I've seen 2 great runes before, and they were in a previous new game cycle.
that's interesting. So, so you think
And we see this in Night Rain too, because the Round Table Hold, they do the same. Like, canonically, the Night Rain is a time loop.
right?
Like, when you're doing the remembrance quests, the remembrances in Night Rain, you're doing the previous cycle. Like, you've already done this before. Like, the big reveal with Wilder at the end of Night Rain is that he is Holsteer. He is the Night Lord. Like, the Night Lord you kill, the Night Lord he's mimicking, that's him.
But sure, but was he the original one though? You know what I mean? I mean, sure,
What
I understand the time loop, everything, but was he
thus does
the
the copy pass and it become the Gemini Oracle.
right? I mean, the Lost That's a War thing, I believe in that, but like there has to be a start to the loop. That's what I'm saying. Like I like it,
There has to be, doesn't there?
right? I don't know. I like the idea of the time loop and everything like that and the mimics. I believe in some of that.
Well, the start of the loop, if you really want to go for the start, it starts Kingsfield. So you got to go back to
All the way
1994.
all the way back then.
Yeah, you got to go all the way back.
So
Starts with Kingsfield. This is
dang.
where we get the shared universe, because it's
Right. I was about to ask that.
the world. Like, we learned this in Dark Souls 2, how the souls keep getting reborn again and again, and they exert their influence on the world, and they get it stuck in repetition. Now, that isn't a time loop. That's like a spiral. It's not a circle.
Mm-hmm.
So, my theorizing is Marika is a very important character. She's not just Marika. And she is trying to break the loop. She's trying to break the spiral. In order to break the spiral, she has to put some stuff in a time loop. So if we were to draw this out, like, that's kind of like where Night Ring comes in, where you are just making you imagine you drew a line and you put a loop in the middle of it. So time gets to move forward, but there's just like a little processing center that's just stuck in a circle. Kind of looks like a ring, like an
Right.
Elden Ring.
Right. Oh yeah. Holy
So
shit.
yeah, Elden Ring is the time loop, but it's still there is a before and there is an after of Elden Ring. But Elden Ring itself is in a time loop.
Amazing. I'm gonna have to chew on
And that's
that.
why we keep replaying the same game over and over again.
Uh,
If you don't think it's a time loop, play a different video game.
no, it is. It is. It is the time. I don't know. No, I don't.
Play a different video
I,
game if you don't think it's a time loop.
yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to go play Final Fantasy 14. Dang. But that's interesting. I'm gonna have to smoke on that one. I'm gonna have to smoke on that one. It's
Oh, do you partake? Do you partake?
I used to. Now it's just a phrase I use. It's too strong for
Oh,
me
okay. Well,
nowadays.
did
I'm
you
too
know
old.
that? Do you know that weed is canon within the Soulsborne universe?
Is it really? I knew. I
Yeah, look
had
up
a
in Kingsfield 1.
uh-huh.
Look up dragon leaf.
Dragon leaf. Okay, let me write that down because I have a notebook.
Yeah,
I've
what
been
is it?
taking
It's
notes.
dragon Kingsfield. What is it called? It's the dragon tree leaf, I think.
Dragon tree leaf.
Let me find the item. I'll put in. Yeah, here we go. I just played Kingsfield 1 here. I'm gonna I'll DM it to you.
Okay.
But literally, like, look at this shit.
Jesus.
This
like
is
a one
this
for
game is the
one.
first. This is the first. Yeah, this is a game where you get this is the From Software's game with the first Moonlight Sword.
Really? Oh, that too. Dang. Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. Okay, now
Yeah,
okay.
and so
Wow.
yeah.
So
I
wow.
call it Kari and Kush. That's what Moongrim's on. Yeah.
Wow.
Smoking that green blossom.
Wow, man. Wow, man, they were being meta back then. Dang. Before even was the word. Wow, I guess that really. Wow, I'm really have to smoke on that. Dang, that's amazing. And it's wow, I don't know what to say about that. My mind is blown. That's good.
Isn't it funny? Yeah. So if you're interested, if anyone,
You own
we're doing
11 of
Kingsfield Book
those.
Club. What is up?
You own 11 of those. Or is that your
Oh
screenshot?
no, this isn't my
Oh,
screenshot.
okay, I was about to say.
No, I just took it online. I played on I'm on my Mac right now.
Oh.
I played a emulator on my PC, and that's where all my Kingsfield stuff is.
Oh, okay, cool. Dang. All right then, man. Well, I definitely have a lot more questions, but they can wait. They can wait. Well, I mean, this is the end of the show. Thank you for being on the show, man, and coming talking Elden Ring with us.
Thanks for letting me talk.
Man, no, you're welcome.
I hope I didn't go too crazy with time limit stuff. You know, next time if we do this, we gotta stay me away from the metaphysics stuff. Ask me like lower questions away from the meta stuff, and we might be everything together.
This is what we come here for, man. To hear the theories, what's in your heart, the principles that you would live by, bro. This is it. This is the stuff we want, bro. This is the entire Inquisition. We got the questions. We want to hear answers, even if we don't agree with them. We want to hear what you believe, what you think, and what
you don't have to. I'll tell you what. You don't need to believe any of my theories, because if you beat Mikola at the end of Shadow of the Erd Tree, he gives you his crown. The story is yours. Whatever you want it to be, that's the story.
That's right. Yeah. So, all right, if you want to do some promotions, go ahead. You want to tell where they can find you? If I'm sure everybody can find you here, but any of the new viewers later on and stuff.
Go to Jack as a Mimic on YouTube. Watch my play. If you haven't watched any of my videos or you don't know where to start, watch my Prepare to Mimicry videos. It's a playlist. Watch it in order and see if you like the videos, see if you like the theories, and if you really like the stuff, watch the Mimic commentary.
Hell yeah.
And stay tuned. Working on really exciting video project that will be focusing on sun lore.
Wow. Like the
Sun Realm, dragons. Yeah, just sun lore. Just the sun.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Thank you for being on the show. You're welcome to come by anytime.
All right, sweet. Thanks, bro.
Thank you, man. Well, I will catch you later, and yeah, I'll put a link into your channel in the show notes or whatever. I don't know what to call them, but I'll put a link in there.
Yeah, whatever.
All right then, man. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to Tuesday, Thursday, Mimic commentary. Dang. But yeah, it's
March, Tuesday, Thursday.
All right. Well, till then, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, I love them. And yeah, I really appreciate it, man.
All right, thanks, bro. I'll catch you later.
Later.
All right, bye.
Oh shit. Oh well. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Jack is a Mimic, the GOAT, the great thinker. He really deep. I like it. He had a lot of good ideas, a lot of good takes on stuff. Especially the Elden Ring is a time loop, and going all the way back to Kingsfield. That was amazing. I didn't expect that. You know, one of the good things about Jack is when he says something, he backs it up, and that's something I like. If you're gonna say it, say what you mean what you say. Jack seems to do that. He backs it up real good. All right, then. All right, everybody. Tomorrow is the call-in show where you get to call in and share your ideas and principles that you would live by, your theories. And yeah, you know, you just join the Discord and get in the roundtable on hold queue, and you can come on here and tell people what you think, what you believe. It's good. It's good fun. Elden Ring is great. Thank you for everybody that's in the chat. Thank you for everybody who put in questions. And yeah, thank you to all the future viewers when you see this later. Yeah. All right then, man. Everybody be safe out there. I'll see y'all tomorrow.